All right, so me and my homie, we was just kind of bar hopping and shit the other night. We was out and we walked past Promontory out in Hyde Park. And when I was walking past, I saw a lady, an old lady, sitting in the parking lot. And she was sitting like across from the parking booth. You know, you come in and you got to pay the booth to park in the parking lot. And it's an old man standing in the booth. And I asked I was like, hey, like y'all together? Like, you waiting on him? Y'all together? But I was like, oh, yeah, that's my husband. I was like, also, you just out like waiting with him while he working? And she like, yeah, I was at home bored and, I just came to sit out here and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the warmest day. It was a little chilly. She had a little jacket on and shit. Yeah. And he just, working, taking tickets and shit. And they're like at least 70. Yeah. Like, they're old. You know what I'm saying? And she just over there chilling. Like, look like she having fun. And nigga ain't even talking to her. She by herself. Like, and I'm like, damn, that's a beautiful thing, bro. Like, obviously they marriage probably not rooted in finances and things like that. Like, it's 12 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? He working in the parking booth. But his lady right there with him, you know what I'm saying? Man. She got her car parked right there. Yeah, that's a nice little whip though. Maybe they retired and they doing that or whatever. I don't know. But for them to still be sticking it out like that, happy. You got to be happy to come sit at somebody's job with them. Nigga. That's some teenager shit. I remember I was at McDonald's and had a couple of hoes sitting in the lobby waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of reminded me of that. Like, I'm like, all right, I see you playing this shit. Don't stop. Cool. But at the same time, it was just a beautiful thing to see. And it made me like, man, I really want that. You know what I'm saying? That type of loyalty, that type of commitment, that type of person. It's like, that's really your person. Y'all 70? Y'all still moving like this? Like, y'all still got that love thing? Yeah. Going like that? That's some honeymoon phase shit at 70, So today we got a special guest, man. And we're going to talk about marriage. We're going to have a deep dive into marriage, man.
Yeah, we got some good questions for bro.
For sure.
Hope I can answer them.
Before we even do the introduction of the show, I want to introduce the guest, man. This is, I want to do a Shannon Sharp type introduction.
You gotta come with it then.
I got kind of my talking points.
You gotta come with it.
This is one of the best poets in the city of Chicago. One of the most influential TikTokers in the city of Chicago. This is the best husband in his household. Also, the best father in his household. You feel me? That's all a nigga need to be, man. That's my nigga 7 a.m. the poet, a.k.a. Aaron. You feel me?
Hey, man, best husband and father in my household, that's an accomplishment, brother. I don't care what nobody say. That's an accomplishment right here. Okay. I'm Superman to little man. I'm Superman to my wife, bro. I'm straight.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that.
Popping bottles.
You're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
Popping pills.
That's just what comes with being a man.
Popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucker.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas head on, got it.
That's it.
I'm straight. That's enough for me.
And I'm still Terry Rosen.
And at the end of the day, I'm Jones.
All right, man. What's going on, man? How's y'all week, fellas?
Good, man. Smooth. Exciting, actually.
Highs and lows. What's the highlight of your week? What's the low light?
I can't tell you the highlight, but
oh, shit.
But nah, you know what? I think the highlight for me is I came in contact with some good people that's actually gonna help further my journey this week. Can't speak on it yet, but yeah, definitely that's the high point of this week.
Blessings on that.
What about you?
I'm having a shitty week, and this I was thinking, right? This is so funny. Especially with what we talk about, men's mental health and just everything the podcast is about. Before I thought about it, I was dreading the question. I'm like, fuck, this nigga gonna ask me how the week was and shit. I'm cool. I'm like, nah, fuck that. That's not that's unrealistic. Like every week we on this bitch like, oh yeah, nah, the week was smooth, whatever. We had some lows or whatever, but like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just be flat out. This week was shitty as hell. But yeah, I had a real deep session with my therapist. I said that on TikTok. Yeah. I had a real deep session with my therapist yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. It was a heavy one. That's probably one of the most heavy ones. And every week can't be perfect and shit. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of them weeks where I gotta thug it out. You know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to get through it and all that shit. So yeah.
Yeah, you came in with the white tee and the gray sweats on some jail shit. It looked like it was and the muscles and shit.
Right out the feds.
I'm like, damn, I thought you lost your case or so. What the fuck going on, man? Wait, forget.
Hey, funny as shit. I'm like, first of all, who said I got a case? That shit over with.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell us that.
I got probation till what, like January or some shit? It's over with January.
Or some shit you don't even know?
Nah, January.
That's how you know niggas don't give a fuck for real. Like, what type of life is
but
niggas
check this
living
out,
when don't they get off probation? And what type of life are you living that we didn't even know you were on probation, nigga?
Nah. But check this out, though.
I'm saying this okay. We've been out here drinking, driving. We've been doing everything. We've been drinking, driving. We got phones to the car, all type of shit.
Wait, what'd he say? Oh, my God.
I'm joking.
I'm glad I ain't even hear that. Whatever. But
this is just for entertainment.
Before that day, like I stayed out of trouble for fucking 20 years. So me being on probation, it could have been however long. I wasn't gonna get locked up or anything. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
So that's why I ain't been keeping up. I actually found out when the day was maybe a few weeks ago. I think my mom, she asked me, like, when you whatchamacallit over with? I'm like, shit, I don't even know. Let me check. I had to text my lawyer and shit. I'm like, hey, when I'm off probation? She like January. I'm all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, look.
I thought you finna text the lawyer talking about when my whatchamacallit over with. Nah, but
yeah.
Hope your week get better, bro.
Appreciate it.
My week was solid. I came to 2 realizations this week. 2 things that kind of disturbed me and kind of made me change my perspective. And they both happened in the gym. So one thing, I was talking to a parent, and I realized, you know how we say comparison is a thief of joy? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's not a complete statement. I feel like we should say comparing up is the thief of joy. You know, because there was a kid who the mom was, hold on, let me tell Carter to get the fuck out the room.
Don't cut that either.
I hope I remember that.
You gotta talk to his kid, y'all.
What the fuck? No, just playing. Yo, get out the living room, man. What's going on, bro? You tap dancing up there? You can go in my room or somewhere else in the crib.
Yeah, they're making TikToks.
Yeah, you gotta go somewhere making too much noise. All right. Kids don't even say bye, they just hang. I gotta teach them that. Like, you know, you're supposed to say bye before you hang up. You gonna get broke up with, nigga.
You get broke up with.
Don't doing that crazy shit, man. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it was the mom and the kid beefing or whatever, and they was the kid just comparing. Just like, man, my mom ain't doing this, ain't doing that. Other kids got this, got that. This ain't working. I don't want to go to homecoming if I don't got this or that. So he mad at the OG because of what he don't got. And it's easy to do. It's easy. We do it as adults sometimes. We look at other people's situation and feel like, whether we feel ashamed of what we lack, feel jealous of what they have, or feel discouraged by, our ability to reach a certain level, whatever the case may be. But in his situation, it's like you could look to your right and see everything that these kids got and feel jealous and compare yourself. But you could look to your left and I can show you these DCFS kids I work with who ain't talked to their mama in forever, who don't know their mama, or who know their mama, know exactly where she at and can go knock on her door and go sit in the living room and watch her live with her other kids. You know what I'm saying? Why she don't do nothing for him and don't want nothing to do with him. And then you can see how good you got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like comparing up is the thief of joy. You can compare down and feel fabulous about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And be grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this shit could always get worse. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing, some weird shit that happened this week, man. It's some weird common shit though. But it made me realize something. We was in the gym and this dude, girls be working out in the gym and they be, girls be working on all leg, all ass exercises, all rotund booties walking around that motherfucker. And it was this one chick and he tried to grab her ass or touch her ass or something like that. And they kind of they ain't know each other for him to be doing that type shit. But she kind of tweaked with him a little bit, which rightfully so. But it's another girl who niggas talk about all the time. All the niggas in the gym are attracted to. She kind of come in there and be on her shit. Niggas don't even try to shoot their shot at her, but niggas would be talking, like, damn, she cold. Woo, woo. Yeah. Now the girl that he pulled it with, she got a nice body or whatever, but niggas don't really be looking at her like that. So it kind of made me realize, like, damn, you would have never did that to the other girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We talk about how women's looks can be social currency at times. And it's like, you felt like you had the right to just kind of like rights to this girl body because you feel like she's not as attractive or you feel like she's not as valuable or she's not as, you just don't have as much respect for her. But like you could look at this other girl and feel like, nah, I ain't gonna pull that with her. You know what I'm saying? Like what made you feel like it was okay to do this to this girl though? Like that's the crazy thing.
You know what I think? I think that he projected on her. I think that he, in his mind, that she didn't see herself as valuable. So that was the green light that, she gonna go for this shit. She probably don't even think that much of herself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Versus the other woman, just because she had the looks and the body. Oh, you're confident in yourself. You know who you are. I ain't even gonna test it. You feel me?
And with this being a space of, men holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like, that was some creepy shit. That was some weirdo like shit trying to physically touch shorty like that. But however, in a way, I think most of us, probably all of us in here have done that. I'm gonna throw y'all in the hole with me.
No,
in a sense of like, not physically touching a woman, but looking at a chick, whether it's on Instagram, and saying like, damn, she bad as hell. I'm gonna have to take her on a date. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do that. Mm-hmm. And then looking at another chick and be like, yeah, I'm gonna just invite her over and see what happens.
I said,
and it's based off how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How they look, and I said this on one of the pods. Like women have certain, and I remember the TikTok they got on my ass about it. Like it's certain women that got like a certain aura on them, to whereas you can't quote unquote play with them, and you gonna come correct. You gonna come with the dates. You gonna come, etc. And there's other women, they have this maybe promiscuous vibe, or just a casual feel to them. And you could be wrong. Usually I'd be right. But
so with that, I'm gonna give you some grace on that because I think that is more about aura. Because there's girls that I'm not attracted to who still got that vibe to them, like you can't play with them, even though I don't think they're attractive. You know what I'm saying? And there's girls who I think are attractive who like might present themselves in a certain way, like she'll go tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I think what you were saying was more aura based, but I think when we looking at Instagram and shit like that should just be purely physical. And when you outside and you don't even really get a sense of the aura yet,
the interaction with them,
it's just be purely like you'll look at a girl and feel like, to me, like that's why I don't like doing that ranking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really like doing that ranking shit with girls that I like, girls that I talk to. Like we had that shit in small guy talk, locker room talk at times, but like in real life, I don't really like doing that shit because you could say like when we say like, oh, this girl's a 10 or this girl's a 4 or whatever like that. We know that like as niggas, we treat these girls different based on how they look. And to one nigga, she might be a 10. To the next nigga, she might be a 4. But to whatever nigga that think that girl is a 4, he's not going to look at her like this somebody I'm going to take on a date. He's not going to look at her like this somebody I'm going to show a whole lot of respect to and wait 30 days to hit and all that. He going to look at it like either she finna go or she ain't, and I'm finna move around. It's like no respect, no value, and it's all based on aesthetics. And I think that I never felt like it was super fucked up until I saw that situation in the gym, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. That's almost like preying on somebody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you may feel like, I know I'm better than this person. So she know I'm better than her. So all right, bet. Let me go ahead and shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and treat her the way I would never treat her.
Yeah.
And that's actually a disease, man, because like how you said, you don't like that ranking shit. when you sit there and you ranking people, bro, you like, all right, bet he better than her, she better than him, they better than you. Ain't nobody better than nobody, bro. When you actually look at it, you actually playing with a human being's emotions. Sure. And that's one thing that made me realize, even as a married man, I can't flirt with certain women, talk to certain women, because they a human being. They could be thinking it's more than what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I'm going home to my woman. I ain't thinking about you.
Right.
I know I'm not. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, she could be thinking a whole nother situation, bro.
I seen on Facebook, don't you know how like they say like check the comments of the story, some shit. It was about something about a girl being raped, right? So she was telling the story. So she was talking about, she started the story off by saying how, you know, how her confidence was low. She wasn't the prettiest girl in the school. She didn't really had too many friends, and she was kind of like the black sheep of the school, tucked off to herself. And one day, the star of the basketball team like approached her like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" And she like, that was the first time she felt seen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, this that nigga in the school, and he talking to me right now. And so he talking to her, he, you know, risen her up and shit like that. And he like, yeah, we should hang out. Woo. And she's ecstatic. She's like, oh my God, like this is the first time she getting like, you know, some validation and feels like she belongs or whatnot. So he invites her over to his crib. So they at the crib, and he introduced like, Mom, this my friend such and such. Hey baby, how you doing? So she's feeling so warm and welcome. Like, wow, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, damn, like they, and they just kicking. They having normal conversation. His cousin pulled up to the crib. And this is my cousin. Woo. She, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah. Hey, how you doing? Like, whatever. You know, they just a small greeting. And another boy pulled up. So they out, they playing the game, they this, they that, they kicking it. It's a cool vibe. And mom, the parent ain't came back at all. You know what I'm saying? And they got laid. She like, okay, you need help getting home or whatever? She like, yeah, I'll take you home in a minute or whatever. I forgot what happened with the mom, but long story short, the basketball player, he, you know, started like touching on her or whatever. And she didn't know how to feel about it. She like, this feels wrong, but this is the star basketball player in the fucking school. Like, he's attracted to me. He wants me. So cool. All right, this is right. Fuck it. They have sex. Cousin walk in the room. He like, hey, let my cousin, you know, you cool with my cousin? And she had sex with all three of them. And she said that fucked her up like mentally.
Yeah. Hey, I saw it in college. I saw it happen in college a lot. I'm gonna leave that at that.
Yeah.
And you know, I always felt like the shit was kind of like, this is gonna sound fucked up on my part, you know what I'm saying? But for one, I feel like I feel like the train shit is gay. like,
oh yeah,
I feel like
100%.
I feel like when niggas is in the same room, like I've never been fucking a girl and be like, damn, I wish my homie was here. Like, it never happened. Like, and I don't want to make this a funny moment, but because it's not a funny moment. But I always felt like that was kind of wild. But even like the niggas taking turns and shit, it's like I don't want to hit a chick that this nigga just can't. Yeah. Like I never wanted to do that. So I never participated in none of that shit for those reasons.
Mm-hmm. You gotta add that out.
Not because I felt like it was wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Because you felt like it was gay.
Because I felt like the same time shit is gay, and then the one at a time thing is just like it's just a million other chicks here. Like I would just fuck a girl that just want to fuck me. You know, and that's it. Like I don't want to like fuck right behind, bro. None of that. That shit is just crazy to me. I don't even know how I would be turned on to come in the room and hit a chick that just got hit by another nigga. That's crazy. But that's just me though. But again, I never looked at it from the perspective of a woman, because I always looked at it like she's here doing this, so she's willing to do it. So like that story you just told me, you know, it kind of, because without saying too much, like when those things was happening, it was people in position of like clout and shit like that, to where like, you know, I could see why a motherfucker how a motherfucker got here. But I always just looked at it like, shit, that's what she want to be doing. I never knew none of the girls personally. Like I didn't have a personal relationship with them. Like I might have saw them in passing and shit, but I never had a personal relationship with them. But that shit was like a couple times a week. Like that was like very normal. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be girls that you would kind of be shocked. Like, damn.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm finna say that's fucked up, and it go back to what I just said about social currency.
Fuck, what is nigga finna
It's
say?
just like, damn, she kind of cute. I'm surprised she did that. Like as if that matter.
Like, I would never treat her like that.
Because you know, right, because you never know how they feeling on the
Like,
inside.
Or it's to say that like I would expect a less attractive girl to do some shit like that. Like that, and that's kind of, again, that's why I say it's kind of like when I saw the shit in the gym, it kind of made me like, it opened up my eyes to like how we really look at women. Cause like what he did was extreme and some shit that I wouldn't have done. And I feel like a lot of niggas, at least I ain't gonna say most niggas, but most niggas I know wouldn't have done no shit like that. Like most niggas I know don't move like that. But I'm like, the mind state behind it is a mind state that I kind of share, G. Like, is like the social currency of like aesthetics. Like that shit is like really toxic.
It'd definitely be surprising when you held a woman to a high standard. And you see her, you hear about her, see her do some whole shit or whatever. It's like, damn, this how you. I would never treat you like that. I would, you know, I would pull out the red carpet for you, and you just fuck this nigga in the car outside the club.
And it's almost like if they look good enough, they innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
So it's like you would be shocked at the behavior once you know. It's not, you're not treating them like that after you know how they move. But before you know, you giving them the benefit of the doubt. But it's also like the girl who not as attractive, unless she got that sweet, she might not be, let's say she's not attracted to you, but she got that sweet, super humble demeanor. It's kind of like, you would expect, you might, maybe she don't be on that type of shit, even though she's not attractive. But then if you, let's say you just got two hood chicks, one super attractive, one not. That super attractive one, you gonna kind of look at it a higher regard. Like you gonna assume she probably used to niggas like this. She probably used to niggas rolling out the red carpet for her. She probably used to this. So I got to do all this to get her. In reality, niggas treating all these girls like shit. You know what I'm saying? In real life, you know. So it's like she probably ain't used to nothing. Like, you know. So it's crazy.
I'll ask both of you. You single, right? No.
He firm. He's like, no.
I like that.
That nigga's in a relationship for 4 hours.
Hey man.
Hey yo, he's staying firm on this woman.
The technicalities, man. You can't lie.
But single.
Yeah.
All right. So question. You said
I can still answer.
Yeah, I know you still answer.
He said, I'm still a man. Hold on. I'm still a man.
This is a question for the guys.
Dropped his nuts
It's a
quick.
question to the guys. So I know a lot of people will have the subject, you know, have their own opinion, whatever. As a man, can you say you can tell a woman who's wifey material, say about as soon as she open her mouth, 10 minutes after you meet her?
Nah.
No?
I don't think so.
Maybe wifey, nah, I'm just saying no.
You can't. But based off what you said, you was like, yo, once you find out her background, you like,
I mean, it ain't got to be background. Yeah, it's kind of background.
Because it's background based. But hold up, that's a background based. But I'm saying like, yo, you meet a woman that's calm.
You know what, bro, and that's why I said I wasn't firm on that answer just yet, because I've met women. When people be like, you know, what type of woman you want, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's certain women that have like this calming spirit. They're super feminine. They soft with it. And it's like,
you wife material.
It's like, man, like you should, just a conversation just make you feel so relaxed.
Relax, bro.
Calm. It's like,
relax. You could tell she grew up with a daddy, got some older brothers. Somebody taught her.
It's like, man. And then you then you meet a shorty,
Go ahead and say that shit. Go ahead and say that shit, nigga. Look. Hey, this how that nigga talking Patreon, man. This is how that nigga talking Patreon. Go ahead.
Then you meet a Chicago woman. And then, and then,
hey, all Chicago women are worthy of.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But then you meet the ones, you know what I'm saying, that's like us. That's like niggas. Yeah. And they talking at you. And it's like, ooh.
The 290 queens, them chicks that went to Or.
God damn.
No, that's why I ask as soon as they open their mouth. Like sometimes as soon as she starts talking, you can be like, okay, yeah, you ain't. Never mind.
I feel like a woman can disqualify herself as soon as she open her mouth. I don't know if a woman can qualify herself soon. Because it is women who have demeanor. It's just like, damn. But it's still so many other factors, though. We know that. Yeah. So I say I can see wifey qualities, but I ain't gonna say she the girl for me off 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, but that's enough for me to want to find out.
More.
Not saying she's here's the thing. Not saying she's the woman for you. I'm just simply saying, could you tell a woman who displays wife-like quality, like, yo, she'll make somebody a good wife?
It's qualities like I hope, but it's so much other shit to women. Like, shorty might be a fucking liar. Like,
You get too much in the moment, bro.
look, I'm thinking about my ex. She one of the nicest women you ever gonna meet. G, like, she is. Like,
But she horrible.
I thought she was
she's
wifey.
terrible. Yeah, she's terrible.
I thought she was wifey.
Yeah, bro, she can work at any front desk anywhere. Like HR lady, yeah, nice as fuck. Like an angel. Can't believe it.
Hey,
Man.
but hold on, what'd you say? You find out women just like us.
They are.
They not too far off.
That's not how, like,
they're
you-
not that different. They just have hoes.
Hey, look.
Women say niggas could talk themselves out of the pussy all the time and talk themselves out of situation. They can too.
Yeah.
They be like, oh fuck.
for certain men, because this certain niggas gonna hit regardless.
Yeah, that's facts.
Okay.
I know some dirty dick
I remember this girl.
Right.
This girl was so cold. This little chocolate chick. She was so thick. She was so cold. And we went somewhere and like niggas was on it. And she worked with one of the guys and she was at the spot. And he was like, oh damn, that's the girl at work. I be telling y'all about da-da-da. She here, da-da-da. And niggas was on her. And I end up jamming on her some type of way or whatever. She liked whatever. We end up kicking it. I forgot how the shit happened. She came to the crib. She was so fucking dumb, bro. Like we was having conversations. And you know, I be talking like about different shit. And I was telling something about the world or like the fucking I don't know what the fuck was on TV. We just talk about like 9/11, some type of conspiracy. She was saying the dumbest shit in the world, and I like my dick just couldn't get hard. She was with the shit, like she was going. She was with the shit, and she was cold. She was like a builder bear, because we say the builder. She was customized. She was nice, and
She's a creative player.
Yeah, bro, 99, and nah.
Yeah, man.
So, but it's some niggas who would have like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm smashing, but it's some niggas who be like,
that intellect got to be there, bro. Like,
yeah,
you got to think about something.
She could have came over there and been quiet, and I would have hit. But the shit she was, she's so cold
in that moment.
She's so cold. I want to hit raw because she this cold. Which is, I'm just being honest. And this is not today's Terry talking. This was like 6 years ago. But she was so cold. I would have wanted to hit raw. But I can't have a kid this dumb. Like I'm not even gonna risk it. Like
that's what I was finna say. Like
that shit is crazy.
It's shit like that'll make you think about who you can possibly have a baby with. It's like,
yeah, bro.
Am I'm gonna procreate with this person?
I can't
procreate is crazy. She probably wouldn't even know what I meant by that. Like she was dumb as fuck, bro.
Hey, yo.
She was dumb as fuck.
Hey, come on, man.
Like, I know, I'm not, bro.
You
it was
mad,
bad, bro.
He pissed.
It was bad. It was bad. I've never experienced that. That's my first time. I've experienced people who's a little ditzy, a little like, okay, she don't, she wasn't paying attention in none of the classes and shit. But she not like, Shorty was just like very expressive and very opinionated, and she was saying some dumb shit I've ever heard. Like it was crazy. We go. I digress from that. Do we have a topic for today? Like, I feel like I'm gonna talk myself. I'm gonna talk myself out of the following. I'm gonna stop listening to this shit.
It better be like, I ain't having no
Terry
conversation.
be real disrespectful this episode. All right, hold on. Where are all the questions? All right, we got no news for today. I'm not gonna do a voicemail because we're deep into the episode at this point. So we're gonna go straight into the questions.
Let's do it.
So today we just gonna talk about marriage. We have a married man here. How long you been married, bro?
11 years.
11 years. Not only is he married, he's very proud in his marriage. He highlights his marriage. The content is about, like, it's about family.
Family, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love to see it. Black family, black love. It's hilarious on top of that, which makes it even better. But I feel like it's a lot we can learn. There's two guys who want to be married. You know what I'm saying? John's never been married. I walked that road before. But
this nigga been married and walked out on his
stories.
marriage, y'all.
Yeah.
He walked out on his marriage. It's okay.
No, I didn't walk out on my marriage. I didn't walk out on my marriage. How did it? No, I didn't do that. No.
He left her.
Nah.
That was just bad. Maybe.
Well, didn't he say she called to this day he'll do anything for her? That's what it said.
It's my dog.
I know I saw the clip.
It's my dog. It's
Oh,
my
okay.
dog.
All right.
But anyway, we got a few questions about marriage, and I'm gonna let Jones kick it off.
Nigga, why you didn't say that? Hold on.
I mean, your question said number 1 next to it, so I figured you wanted to go first.
Nigga, you told me to give you 3, so I just lifted it out. All right, cool.
As a married man,
So as a married man, how do you feel about the statement, married men are the most single men out here?
I know some dogs. On some level, yeah, that can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we live in a world of social media. If you don't know this dude is married, come on now. But that is true because most married men are so unhappy. Or I ain't even gonna say they unhappy, bro. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. They could be used to messing with multiple women. And I think that was one of the questions as well.
Yeah, that's connected to three.
Because that's connected, man. When you used to messing with multiple partners, it's very hard to settle down with one. Because then you start playing the comparison game. You know what I mean? You start comparing your woman, your wife, to some shorty, you know, that you probably had a couple years ago. Then you start comparing her to this other chick that's at your job. You start comparing her, and then that doesn't work for marriage because now you poking holes where it shouldn't be at. You feel what I'm saying? When really you should just be loving this person for who they are. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I do advocate for most men. If you're thinking about marriage, if you at the age and you like, yo, I'm ready to settle down, but you don't know with who yet, stay by yourself for a little bit.
Yeah. Start chopping down your roster.
Huh?
Start chopping down your roster.
Yeah, bro. I mean, why do you feel like you have to talk to somebody else if you ain't got it all together yet?
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm not, even if you do have it together, why do you feel like you constantly have to talk to somebody? I found out why in therapy for myself.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Nah, see, therapy is great, especially for people who grew up in a very unhealthy household. My parents were married, but they were toxic for each other. And I started making excuses as to why it's okay to cheat. Oh, no, it's okay to cheat. My uncles did it. My dad did it. This, they did it. And it's like, they still together. My grandfather, my grandmother. And you can make up all the excuses in the world, but that's not a good enough answer. You know what I'm saying? And you really get to it, man. You be living multiple lives, bro. You talking to this chick, you got your wife at home, you got kids, you got this other chick. Bro, it's too much, man. Turn your attention to what matters. You feel what I'm saying? And even when you talk about being single, turn your attention to yourself. Once I turned my attention to my family, I leveled up in every way possible. Mm-hmm. Every way possible. I cannot lie to y'all. I can't exaggerate. That's real. And I say this as a single man, you got kids, I understand. But if as a single man, you turn your attention to yourself, bro, you leave the women alone till you find the right one.
That's crazy. I heard Charlamagne say the same thing when he stopped cheating and locked in with his wife. You know, everything, like life just got 10 times better.
Fell in place, bro. And we got married when we were 23.
Yeah.
So, you know, you in your 20s, bro. You know, we met when we was 22, got married at 23. I actually proposed to my wife 4 months after meeting her.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, proposed downtown in Navy Pier, man. So, you know, I knew what I wanted, but at the same time, I didn't know what I had until I had it.
Okay.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and then you forced to make some decisions down the road.
On the when it comes to like just, you know, being faithful and things like that, when let's just say if you in a room with other married men, it's guy talk, right? Let's just say, you know, you in a room with it's just men, you know, and mostly everybody's married, and probably most of the guys in the room probably cheat on their wives or whatever. Do you feel comfortable? Like, let's say the conversation comes up, do you feel comfortable advocating and talking about how, oh yeah, I don't cheat on my wife, I don't favor? Do you feel that slight uncomfortableness, or have you felt that before versus now?
Nah, I'll be honest with you, bro. You walk in your truth, there will be no embarrassment. I don't feel embarrassment. I don't feel slighted. You do what you do. You teach your own, brother. I don't. You know what I mean? I got very uncomfortable with the thought of possibly embarrassing my wife.
Okay.
I'm cheating on my woman, ain't nobody finna know. Yeah. Mainly because even if you my guy, I don't want you looking at my woman differently. I don't want you looking at my marriage differently. You feel what I'm saying? The embarrassment for my wife would be catastrophic. I don't want to. Yeah.
For sure. I don't have nothing, man. I'm just listening right now.
Okay, so can you give young men the reality of being with one woman for the rest of their lives after, you know, most of them men have been dealing with, you know, multiple women. So what does it look like going from being the bachelor, you know what I'm saying, doing what you want to do, not having to answer to nobody, having that autonomy, to now giving all of that up and just locking in with one woman? Like, what is the quote unquote the benefits and the culture shock? Like, it's two sides to that coin. It's the benefits of it, and then it's also, it could be possible withdrawals, if you will.
Yeah, them withdrawals happen.
Okay.
Them withdrawals happen.
Yeah,
you got
talk to us.
you know what I mean? Them withdrawals happen. But you know what? It's like the reality of being with one woman, it's always work to do. Talking to multiple women, I call it busy work. You just staying busy. You just keeping your mind busy. You're not quiet in your mind. You listening to too many thoughts. You listening to your woman at home. You listen to this woman's, what she got going on, when you could be using the other side of your brain that your wife ain't using to come up with a grand scheme. If you can manipulate women, manipulate an algorithm, manipulate your bank. And I don't say that, trying to stun on nobody. I say that with all sincerity. We live in a world right now where everybody crying for money, everybody crying for finances. You looking for this, you looking for that. Well, what are you turning your attention to? Fully. You say you want to be this. Are you that? What's the reason it's keeping you back? And honestly, the benefit of marriage is it holds. I know y'all heard this before. It holds that mirror up to your face. I was
just finna ask you that, bro.
Oh man, it holds the mirror up to your face, and it tells you what you've been lacking, and especially with therapy. Man, bro, my wife definitely had me in a chokehold. You know what I mean? Thinking about who I was as a man, and when you really come down to it, you really want to be known for. This nigga always got hoes in his phone. You feel what I'm saying? When it come down to it, do your woman have enough reason to help you out in a struggle? Or did you let most of that reason fade away with every mistransgression of you treating her badly? Every time she found out somebody in your phone, you kicking it with this person, and it's like you're not prioritizing her. Does she have enough reason to stick by you?
Yeah. You know, one reason I'm looking forward to having one woman is the focus. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying in the group chat the other day, like, if my dick stopped working, I'd probably be rich in like 3 years. Remember that? I was just saying that. Like, if I stopped getting horny, I'd probably be like, it'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I am reaching the age to where, like, I'm just not as horny of a nigga naturally. Like, I'm just not even on no ED shit. I'm not on no erectile dysfunction shit. Hey. Just more so on some just.
Hey, bro, looking for a honey pack ass.
I just be chilling now. Like, I just be cooling. Like we don't gotta fuck. We can kick it. But that's one thing I am looking forward to when it comes to like commitment is the level of focus and dating somebody who see the same vision as me, who got their own vision. I can invest in them. They can invest in me, pour into me, and we could really just walk life together. You know what I'm saying? I think like the I don't know. I just feel like we just so socialized to play that game of like dating different women and chasing women and shit like that. And I just feel like it's played out now, like for me at least.
Man, when you think about that partner in crime, bro.
Yeah.
Like I called my wife at 2:00 in the morning. You told that story at the beginning where they was in their 70s and he was at work passing out tickets and she in the car.
She was fly. She was sitting next to the car. She was sitting outside.
Sitting next to the car,
crazy.
Bro. That happens, bro. I've been on my job for 11 years. Same time me and my wife been married. I've been working nights for 11 years.
Yeah.
It was times when my wife came down to work and kick it with me. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So that is like, that also helps you stay focused as well, because it's like, okay, we're bonding. Yeah. I'm bonded with this person. It's 2:00 in the morning. I could easily be chatty patty, and somebody DM, but it's not, that right there. It's like, okay, that gives you a peace of mind to be like, okay, this is my wife, let me.
So she worked days.
Yeah.
And you work nights. Mm-hmm. How much do you think that helps the marriage?
It can be I'll be honest with you, bro. That's always been a challenge for us. But
I would think it'd be a great thing.
You said it's a great thing?
Yeah, like, how many people be tired of each other, like sitting in the house together, like COVID. Do you know the divorce rate during COVID was scary? Because people was like, they had to sit in a house with each other. And like, I don't like this motherfucker. Like, that, when we saw each other from 6 to 10 p.m., that 4 hours a day was great.
Yeah.
This all day shit, like, I had homies, especially on that dog shit. I had homies like, bro, I got to sneak in the bathroom to get this text off. Like, to this other chick. Like, this shit crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look, bro.
Niggas couldn't cheat good no more.
Danielle been working from home ever since COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know and I'm a content creator. I work nights. There's literally no time where we don't see each other.
All right.
But when you count the years we were together before our son came, we were always together.
Okay.
Always. Even if one of us was doing something on the side, we were still always together. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's the comfortability that a lot of people don't sit in, where it's like, I'm comfortable being around my woman. Like, I made a post and I said the stuff about Diddy stuff came out. I said that it's gonna be hard to be messing with me once I become a official actor. My wife come everywhere with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she peep game on everything. So it's like, you know, my wife is also, people are crazy to say I'm crazy, but my wife is also my bodyguard. She observes a lot of stuff that I don't. That's that yin and that yang. That's that benefit that a lot of people don't really understand. Once you both are committed and y'all locked in, all right, we doing this for the betterment of the mission. Everything that we do is for the betterment of the mission. You feel what I'm saying? Our goals are everything that we want for the future. Okay, it starts now. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, well, I'll stop cheating tomorrow. I'll stop messing with these hoes later on. Nah, bro. Creatures of habit.
So
That's tough.
you got married at 22, right?
23.
23. How old was you when you met your wife?
22.
22, and then 4 months later, I guess you turned 23 or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so being that young, did y'all do premarital counseling?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. We were raised as Jehovah's Witness, actually.
Okay.
Both of y'all?
Yeah,
Both of y'all?
of us.
Okay.
Yeah. My uncle was the one who married us, and he gave us counseling. He was one of the elders in the congregation. That definitely helped, because that helped me see the realistic side of marriage. And it had nothing to do with just cost and expenses. It had everything to do with, can you deal with each other? Can you work together? You feel what I'm saying? Without letting the little petty, minute stuff interfere, bro.
Yeah. What's the reality of it, though? I mean, that was your third question, right? About being with one person for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Nah, so
You asked that already.
my third question was like, what are some benefits of marriage that you think gets overlooked that make being married worth it?
Benefits of marriage, I think I said it before, the yin and the yang factor. That's something that's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen take place in my life. When I allow that, her strengths to become our strengths, and my strengths become our strengths, and we strong and solid together. You feel what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people don't understand the growth that it takes to be married, because you're not going to be prepared for marriage. I don't care what nobody say. You're not. But I can give you some tips. But growing with somebody, never underestimate the power of that. You go through some stuff. You see this person in so many different sides. Y'all growing together and you learning. But you have to be willing to learn, bro. I think that's the main curve a lot of people don't really want to go through in certain relationships. Like, yeah, we go through what's your favorite color? But do you know what's set her off? You know that she don't like being grabbed from behind? Do you know what I mean? Do you know that she doesn't like talking to this certain person in the family or bringing this person? So that's the certain challenges that you could face, because you gotta have knowledge. The Bible even talks about men deal with your wives according to knowledge. That means everybody's circumstances are gonna be different.
How do you navigate your pet peeves? Because I know you have and you don't have to say what they are, because I don't know if she's watching.
No,
I know when I date people, maybe it's a me thing. Let's talk about me, right? And maybe you can relate.
Do your thing.
You've developed pet peeves about people. You develop things about them that's just it kind of ticks you off a little bit when they do this certain thing. Like, it might be a long goodbye. It's like, why the fuck are you saying goodbye for 20 minutes everywhere we go? I hate it. Right? Like, how do you navigate those things? It might be actually true. It might be like a lot of, that's going to sound so petty on the playback. But it might be like a lot of little things. I used to hate how my mom shoot.
Man, you hard to be with.
I never hated how a chick I did. I never cared.
Man, when you think about it, bro, it's a maturity thing, man. Are you mature enough, bro? Like, all right. This is innocent. My wife has this thing where she overtalks me. And I think us as men, we dealt with that. You know, my mom I seen my mom do it with my father. She did it with me, whatever. I'm used to it. But she has something like, it pops in her head. She's like, I got to get this out. I get it. It irritates me, but it's something that I got to navigate through. So when she does that now, we have unspoken arguments. You've been together for some years. You have them. I be like, I say something like, yeah, I was going to go down there. I was going to go down there too. Then she like,
you got it.
Anyway, I was going to go down. You know what I mean? So you got to, it's understanding. I know why my wife does that. Yeah. I know it just popped in your head, Danielle, but Jesus Christ. So I understand that. When with a lack of understanding, I would just, God, can I get a what? You know what I mean? So it's like, I understand, and she understands. We had that conversation. So
it's one thing, like, and I talked about this on the episode with Tahoe, like early in the roses I did, rebrand or whatever. I learned to find humor in the pet peeves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my coping mechanism, how to cope with a woman I'm dating, pet peeves. I just learned to find it funny. I learned to laugh at it. It's like the girl I was dating, I was talking about the girl that was like super selfish. It was crazy how selfish she was and how self-centered she would be about certain shit. But I would just learn to laugh like, this selfish motherfucker. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just learned to find it funny somehow. Like, and I've done that in other situations where I've dated people long term. They'll do little shit and I just laugh at it. You know what I'm saying?
I can see how that works.
You know what I'm
how
saying?
that could work for you.
For sure.
Yeah, but if you're doing something selfish, bro, I'm turned off immediately.
That's why you're not with her now.
Huh?
Ultimately, that funny shit didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah.
That's not why we broke up, though.
Oh, damn.
That's not how we broke up. Yeah, go back to other. We ain't break up with the substance. I was cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you talk, and you sound like a grown, mature man, right? I'm also thinking about when you got married. You was 23 years old, and I know that you're not like who I'm sitting with now. You probably didn't have this mindset and when talking how you was talking at 23.
No, bro.
So how did you, because even though I don't know where you come from, just from hearing you talk, it sounds like you came a long way.
Yeah.
So how did you get from this 23-year-old boy to now, you know what I'm saying, you're this man that your wife is proud of and you're doing such a good job in your marriage? How do you get there?
When you as a man, bro, when you come to a realization that you don't know shit, excuse my French, that's when you can begin to grow. 23-year-old kid getting married, bro, I didn't know a damn thing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I didn't even know about how to manage my finances. Broke as hell. So when you talking about growing to be mature, man, it's called accepting yourself and who you are first. And that'll allow you to accept your partner as well. You feel what I'm saying? Be like, okay, because if I'm so understanding with myself because I know myself. Mm-hmm. You're not so understanding with other people because you don't have that knowledge. Mm-hmm. So why should I not be understanding with my wife? Why should I not have that knowledge, of my wife so that I can be more understanding?
That's dope. That's a dope concept, man. I want to ask you this. I'm pretty sure you see all the dating content out there. 80% of it is about finances, right?
It is.
80% of it is about finances. And you just mentioned, having broke seasons, being young when you first got married. For all the guys out there listening who you can't tell them that women don't just overly care about finance. It's about the woman you find, and we understand that. But when you're going through a hard season, a hard financial season in a marriage, long term, I mean, hey, look, babe, ain't no dates right now, ain't no trips, ain't no gifts. How do you keep her happy during those financial downtimes?
First and foremost, it's not my job to keep her happy. It's my job to contribute to it.
Clip. That's a clip.
So when you talk about keeping her happy, let's say it's really still not my job to keep her entertained. Yeah. She understands the family business. She understands the road that we're going to. My wife is fantastic with being resourceful. Like Daniela hit up a free show, free day at the museum. You know what I mean? She looking up coupons.
I was gonna say, did she coupon?
Bro, she coupon. Oh, bro, man, look, let me be real, bro. Look, you talking about we first got married, bro. I kid you not, our income was about less than $3,000 a month.
Combined?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was together. That was combined. Less than $3,000 a month. Kid you not. Rent, car note, insurance, all that other stuff, bro. We was broke. My wife was so resourceful. Kid you not. She got us damn near 2 weeks worth of groceries on $50. Not one of my proudest moments. Not one of my proudest moments by far. And us growing from 22, 23 years old, being resourceful financially, and, you know, she cutting corners here, there, and this, that, and the other. It's like, man, like, I definitely valued that the most because, like, your finance is not going to be up all the time, bro. Mm. It's not going to be up. It's damn near impossible. Unless you born into some millions. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your finances ain't going to be up, but you got a woman that's understanding, and she understands the mission. Like, babe, we ain't up this month. Next month, we back at it. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. So we both kind of got comfortable with, like, okay, we kind of try to foresee the future. We went first trip, kid you not, first trip we ever planned as a couple. Not the first one we went on, but first one we planned, paid for as a couple, went to Vegas. Came back, had an eviction on my door.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. So, you know, we
I came back to a pregnancy scale. Not even when you're scared, the kid is here. So it's worse things that have happened.
It's okay.
Remember it say comparing up, comparing down.
Comparing up,
the shit can always get worse.
Hey man, look, bro. So but you learn from all that, man. I'm telling you learn from all that, bro. I don't know how your situation. Well, your kid is here, so I get it.
Yeah, man. I was coming back from Miami though.
That was Miami.
Yeah,
man, bad trip in Miami. It was a great trip in Miami.
I don't know.
He's still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't say.
Nah, when you said like, hey babe, you know, this month that reminded me of that Jim Jones clip. We not buying Chanel bags for a couple months, but boy, when it's back popping, Chanel every day if you want.
We back at it, bro.
Yeah, that Chanel every day gonna have y'all right back to no Chanel. Right. Talking about Jim Jones. That's what I was thinking when I heard that shit.
I'm like, that was a bit. Like, I'm pretty sure he was, you know, exaggerating, but I'm like,
nah,
I get what you saying.
I get what he said.
But that was real, bro. And when you've been together for a minute, bro, you start planning for that foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, Danielle be like, well, you know, around September, October, we kind of be. Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, I know, because you done decided to ball out all summer. That we got daddy got to re-up. You know what I mean? But she's cool with it at this point, especially when she sees not only what we did to get to this point, but she also sees what we did throughout the year. My wife's stipulations, it was a stipulation before we got married, and some people are like, oh, the standards are too high, whatever. Her stipulations wasn't immediately, but her stipulations is Danielle likes to go on trips 3 times a year. Sure. So, okay, now in the financial, we on the financial road. Okay, bet I can provide that for my woman. But she understood it wasn't coming immediately. Yeah. And she was patient. So that definitely helped out. Because, nah.
Yeah, for sure. My next question is, if your wife cheated, if your wife cheated, is it a way to work it out? And if so, what would be the steps?
We was 23, man. We was wild. We was wild. So it was times like that without fully getting into those details. And at the moment, I think I told you I've been working nights technically ever since we've been married. I had older men warn me about working nights. Your wife get lonely, y'all newlyweds. I had like 3 of them tell me that. I ain't listen. you find out about your woman getting something on the side, ask yourself some critical questions. Are you doing it too?
I wasn't expecting that one.
Bro, my pops raised me not to be a hypocrite. Then you have to ask yourself, did I have a hand in it? Without having a hand in it. Did I leave her without? And it's not my job to make you happy, but at that moment, it's not about her making herself happy. It could be lack of intimacy. It could be lack of communication. It could be a lack of connection. And sometimes us as men, we can be focused on, I got to get this bread. 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 And in the moment, of us turning our attention to getting bread, we leaving something undone. You feel what I'm saying? So that situation, yes, it is ways to reconcile if your woman cheat, but that's if she wants to reconcile. You can't force nobody to do it. I want to be with you, be with me. Nah, bro. If she gone, you know what I mean? You could tell your woman if she gone. Most of the time, you could tell. A woman with their emotions, bro, you can tell she checked out.
Yeah.
Dudes, we'll stay there. We'll be like, it might get better next week. I don't know. Women, bro, you can tell, man, she checked out.
Yeah. I be telling guys, I was not going in on this dude, but I was really getting deep with this guy on live about that. He was saying, like, my baby mama moved on, I don't know what to do. And I was just trying to emphasize and stress, like, bro, do not chase that. It's almost like how they go into the forest and drop the breadcrumbs, but they go so far that they don't know how to get back.
Damn.
You chase that woman too far, it's going to be like going into that forest. By the time you realize you ain't going to get her back, you're going to turn around. You ain't going to know who the fuck you is, where you at, how you got here. You're going to be lost. Like, emotionally, you're going to be fucking out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to have no self-worth, none of that. It's going to be fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Not even your wife.
That was a great... That was great insight right there, though.
100%. And you said something, a lot of times men, we get focused on, chasing the bag, because we super big on, like, I got to be the provider and protector. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to guys that'll say, like, damn, I'm out here, and let's just say, because it could be different, because you said the number one question you got to ask is you doing it too.
Yeah.
But let's just say in the example that he's not doing it too, but he was just solely focused on getting the bag and providing. And he did leave that, responsibility untouched or whatever, And his thing is, like, damn, I'm out here trying to provide for us, and you go do that. Like, how do you validate his feelings in that? How do you validate, you know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, you working hard for your family, that is commendable. That's validated already. I ain't got to validate that. If she can't see that, then she the problem.
Yeah.
But if it is a situation where you working a lot, you working back-to-back shifts, you really ain't talk to her. It's happened to me. Before I say that, test it as to fitness. Meaning that you're not going to achieve, so you're not going to get something without being tested to see if you have it, to see if you can sustain it. So when you talk about, I've been working. Okay, damn, she cheated. Okay. This is the first time I've been working like this. This is the first time I've been, and I got to worry about home, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking she holding it down, but she get lonely too. You know what I'm saying? And the power of loneliness can cause you to fuck up. I was single before, fellas. I understand. Power of loneliness can cause you to fuck up. So when you talk about this is the first time doing it. Now, I'm gonna say this. Before, when I was younger, yes, I was on my money game thinking, I gotta work back shifts. I'm getting this money. And I left my wife alone because when I came home, I would sleep all day. Literally sleep all day. You know what I mean? And I woke up a couple hours, I ate dinner, then I'm dressed, go back to work. I'm thinking, I'm doing enough. I'm paying bills. We got 2 cars. We straight. Nah, bruh. She need conversation. She can't just call her friends all the time, whatever like that. Stuff happens. Could be guys slipping in her DM. You know what I'm saying? She get weak. She like, my man ain't here to talk to me. I want to talk to a guy. Just having a conversation. I bet. Okay. But it is her job to stay faithful. in that situation, you gotta ask, can you fight for that? Mm-hmm. And mainly we fight in our own emotions. But one thing y'all did is don't chase no woman. Don't. No, Danielle, no, I'm not chasing you. You either want to be here and fight with me or you don't. If you don't, all right, well, let's figure some stuff out. But that right there would be a pierce to the heart where you feel like, man, I'm doing everything I could. Yeah. Especially with the rhetoric that we see on social media now. You gotta have the money. You gotta have the money. You gotta have the money. And that can force some of the younger guys not to even look at what else they gotta work on.
Yeah.
I see so many young cats ain't got no game no more. You know, you literally don't know how to talk to a woman, bro.
You done lost your social skills.
You know what I mean? Social media, you so used to sliding in her DM. He'll meet a chick at an event. Don't say nothing to her. Later on, hit her in the DM. Why?
Because they think they're going to get rich enough to just buy her one day. They going to hate that.
Once again, back to what you said, how we view women.
Yeah. Because the crazy thing is that, you know, I was 19. I was fucking this chick. And we walked downstairs from her building. And a guy pulls up in a Porsche 911. It's my dream car. The car pull up. And I'm like, damn, that car raw as hell. I'm talking to her. Mm-hmm. Damn, that car raw as hell. Like, that motherfucker nice saying it because it's my dream car. Her nigga is in the car. Mm. Her nigga hop out the car. You know what I'm saying? And he tweak out whatever. This nigga's like, probably like 35 or something, right? I'm 19. She like 19. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we kids. And, you know, it was other niggas who, you know, I think I was 21 fucking a chick that was like 35 and she was engaged to a nigga that was rich as hell, hiding in some big ass crib in Olympia Fields. I'm in college, broke as hell. So you have the rhetoric of you gotta have the money to get your girl, mm-hmm. but then you got the well-kept woman that's fucking the pool boy. I was the pool boy. So I know firsthand that a broke nigga can fuck your girl. Like, yeah. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
So men are stuck in this conundrum of you can be a great guy and not have the money and can't get the girl. You can have the money and get the girl, or you and because you got the money, you getting the money, you chasing the money so much, and you doing all these things to maintain this lifestyle to satisfy this woman that you leave some boxes unchecked, and she still steps out to get those boxes filled elsewhere by a man that's working not even half as hard as you in any aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? Especially not towards her. You know what I'm saying? This nigga giving her 30 minutes of his day.
Yeah.
And fucking your girl. You know what I'm saying? So men are stuck in this, we're not really stuck in real life, but the rhetoric and the narratives kind of put us in a conundrum to where you have to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Like you have to be emotionally intelligent, have a bunch of money, fuck the shit out your girl, have a bunch of time for your girl, and somehow have a whole lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is like impossible until you meet a girl in real life, and that's not what she require.
Yeah.
Unless she's stuck on the internet too, and that is what she required.
Well, I think that goes back to meeting a woman that actually likes you. Hold on. Because we said it earlier. We said it earlier. We talking about, hey, can you tell a woman is wifey material when you see her? Is she settled? Mm-hmm. We talk about calm. Is she settled? Is she chill? Like, can you have a down to earth conversation with her? Does this woman like you? Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Because when it come down, yeah, she could love you. Yeah, whatever. Does she like you, my God? Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like you enough to
sit outside your job while you at the ticket booth.
Boom.
That you like that nigga.
Right. like you're not putting up with him. You like him.
See, like you like though. You really like this nigga.
It's chilly outside.
It's chilly outside, bro.
Yeah,
man. You know what I mean? And when you
pneumonia weather.
But I think I'm gonna say this, and I think with the way the world is now, so with technology, social media, whatever, there's ways for you to create a living, and you still balance your family. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Where hey, I ain't got to go in the office every day. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got to do this every day. I'm here. I'm at the crib chilling. I'm telling my wife, yo, we going to lunch tomorrow. We going to lunch today in the middle of the day. I don't know. You know what I mean? But build your life. Because I tell anybody, bro, you could work. When you talk about women, we talking about women, but we're also about things. Some cats like Ferraris. You know what that nigga do to keep that Ferrari?
Yeah.
Do you really enjoy that Ferrari? You feel me? No, you just driving it back and forth to work. It ain't you ain't able to go off road with it, do your thing. Nah, bro, like you bought a big old house. How often are you at home? You done had a bunch of kids. How often are you able to spend with them? Have you literally, is your career freedom, or are you a slave to your things?
Do you got the money, or the money got you?
That's why when you talk about finances and you talk to rich people and they let their money work for them. I'm downtown Dorman working with some people that got some money. Their morning does not it was a culture shock when I first seen it. Their morning does not, not just white. Their morning is not like a typical morning of a broke person. Their morning consists of them going to go work out for like an hour or 2 in the morning. Then they go upstairs, get dressed, business suits, probably around 9, 10 o'clock. They come back around 2. And they in the crib till dinner time where they wife is going to a restaurant with some partners to go do some business. Their life literally revolves around their family. And they have the freedom to do all that. Broke people, early in the morning, what you doing? Get out the bathroom. God damn, I gotta watch. You gotta get dressed. I done missed my goddamn bus. You feel what I'm saying? So he's like, you ripping and running. It doesn't give you time to relax and enjoy the nice things that you bought, bro. I'm not finna buy a Ferrari and it's just sitting in my driveway, my God. I'm driving it.
I was telling the chick the other day, now, like, I'm not going crazy to get rich.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rich bad enough to go crazy to get rich. I don't want to be. I'm already seeing, cause like we all want to get rich to stop working. Like that's just like fantasy we have in our head. Like I want to get rich, so I don't gotta work no more. It don't really work like that for most people.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me. It's probably some people out here who money work for them and all that, but it's I think Jay-Z's probably busier than me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what time he got on this, but he probably got a lot going on. He probably a busy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think capitalism kind of it puts us in a weird position. But I also want to act. Did you have anything on that before I move on to another question?
Yeah. I had a mentor that said he said 2 things. He was like, I'm not about to work hard to buy a Rolex so it can tell me what time my lunch break is. He said, I'm not about to go on a 2-week vacation to Spain to have to come home and go to work. Like, I get back to like 9 to 5 type of thing or whatnot. And so his biggest thing was designing his life. And it wasn't like necessarily getting rich. Like a lot of people, including myself at a time, he would ask like, what's your freedom number? You know what I'm saying? What's your freedom number, like as far as money that you would need to make? And he's like, people would be like, shit, I need like, 100,000 a month, or I need a million or 2 million, or some people even did the math. They know they exact. I need about such and such to live this life I want to live. And he say, how much are your bills? How much are your expenses? And they be like, oh, $4,000 a month. He said, your freedom number is $4,001. Because as soon as you can get some like residual income or whatever to cover all of your expenses, you're free. So you got this large number in your hand, and freedom is way closer than you think. As soon as you can get that little amount of money on autopilot, you're free.
Yeah.
So
that's what Rich Dad Poor Dad teach. They say wealth isn't about how much money you have. It's about the amount of passive income you have that can cover your expenses and how much surplus of that you have. So, for example, it could be an NBA player.
Yeah.
If he don't have no type of passive income going on, he could be making $80 million a year. That nigga leg break when that contract expire, he's just as, because his expenses are gonna match his income. He's gonna live in an $80 million house. He's gonna have $80 million bills. So when his leg break, if he don't got no passive income, that nigga just as broke as I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas be rich as hell living check to check. Like when you look at American debt, there are brain surgeons making $400,000 a year that live check to check.
Yeah.
Like they pay $8,000 for rent and this and that, and they live check to check. And Rich Dad Poor Dad is all about designing your life, like you said, in a way to where like if your passive income money that you're not putting time to work into, whether it be real estate investment, this or that, can cover your bills for the month, and you can literally break your leg and sit down somewhere and everything is paid for, you're wealthy.
Yeah.
And the more you can make that number surplus, that's how much wealth you have. You know, and as much time as you could not spend. So I think that's dope. The last question, I got 2 more questions for you actually.
Do your thing, brother.
One of them is, does your wife have any qualities that you didn't value early on in y'all relationship that once y'all got married, you felt like, damn, that's a game changer. I'm glad that she like that.
You said one of them.
Yeah, I said, yo, that is the one
sure.
I actually gonna say a little bit about. When you talk about the background, bro, I was 2-parent household, but my parents was like, oh, we'll get another one. We'll get another one. Like we'll pay for this. My father was always, I'll pay somebody to do that. I'll pay somebody. It wasn't like we had it like that, but it was like my pops, they made good enough money to be like, all right, you know, this break, we'll just pay for it. We'll just do this. So it wasn't like a do-it-yourself type crib.
Environment.
We were getting married, and I didn't know that my wife had to, her mother, like both of our parents were paying half for the wedding. Our wedding was almost like $30,000. Our parents they paid for our wedding, but it was still other stuff that we had to buy, like party favors, stuff like that, whatever. And I remember Danielle was in her mother's basement, and she was crying. I was like, what's going on? She's like, I gotta make these little the party favors for the wedding. I'm like, you could pay somebody to do that. What are you doing? Like, no, I can do this myself. I gotta save a buck. And then she told me she had to pay for all that out of her own pocket, and she was making less than me at the time. So I was like, okay, I ain't think about it then. But then we got married, and when she learned how to stretch that dollar, I'm like, all right, okay. Yeah. You know, that's something definitely, even to this day, I still cherish about my wife. Because when those days come, you be like, babe, not this month. Yeah. Not this month.
Yeah, I can see that. And this is my last question for you. Describe the moment that you knew that you wanted to pop the question.
Look at that nigga blushing. Somebody gonna see this like, yeah, get home.
I think us as men, we just secure space. We don't. I'm gonna say this: we don't have a like written down checklist, but there's certain things in your mind that you got to be like, if she don't do that, then I can't. For years, I used to see my father and my mother. If my father didn't have it, my mama had it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Danielle, we was at a restaurant and I was broke as hell, and I had went out to eat with a group of friends, a large group of us. And somebody had, I don't know who it was, but somebody had took some money out of my bank account. And while we were sitting down there eating dinner, kid you not. You know, stuff happened. Automatic pay, I don't know what it was. I looked at my phone, I'm sitting there with Danielle, I said, babe. She was the closest person to me. My boys was down there. They drunk, all this other shit. I'm like, babe, I'm sorry, I ain't got it. We was 3 months in. I said, I don't have it. Somebody just took it out of my account. She reached in her purse, slid that $100 bill to me like this. I'm like,
3 months in is crazy. Women ain't doing that.
You the one.
Women ain't doing that.
You the one.
Okay, break it down. Break that like why that. Break down everything that spoke to you.
What's your thought part? What did that tell you?
Right. What did that tell you?
That told me that if there's a pinch, my wife will not hesitate to help.
Okay.
My wife always has been the type of person, she got her hands dirty with me.
Yeah.
I told you we grew up with Jehovah's Witnesses. We used to have these big assemblies out in DeKalb at the colleges, and I was over the cleaning department. So I would have sisters and brothers, you know, they cleaning the bathrooms and stuff like that. My wife was always my very first volunteer. Yeah. She was never like, well, that's what you doing. I ain't cleaning those, you know what I mean? But she was never too haughty to or too good enough to get her hands dirty with me, and that's something I will always admire about my wife, bro.
Okay, something else I noticed about that, she could have put out the $100 and put it on the table.
She could have.
She gave it to you.
Mm-hmm. She could have.
What did that tell you?
She let me keep my dignity as a man. Because you got something, she could have been like, well, here, she could have waited till the, waiter came, and she'd be like, here, you know, whatever. It made a big old scene about it. But my wife is also an introvert too, so she don't really like big scenes. But she also did it. She like, well, you know, everybody expect for you to pay, so slide you to, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So, but that was something. It made me feel good, bro.
Yeah,
it made me feel good. Yeah.
And a lot of people might look at that and be like, "Oh, you needed your ego stroked," and I feel like it wasn't. I don't view it as an ego thing because you was outright and said it. A lot of people with ego, I would have called TJ. Not even I
Hey, no cap.
I've done it numerous times.
Man,
I've done it numerous times. Like it's times where like not having your shit together, trying to date, don't do it. There's been times where I had $215 in my account, maybe less than, maybe $180 in my account. I'm still finna take Shorty out. Shorty just text me talking about what you doing. She don't never be available. Oh, man, fuck that, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I don't get paid for another 12 days. We finna figure it out. Nigga, we going outside. $180, nigga. I know where to go.
Hey, bro, gonna spend $177 that night.
$177.
And you know a nigga gonna double check his account when the bill gonna come before I get that car, because I ain't finna get that decline.
You gotta unlock that card.
I gotta dip over, look at the Chase joint and see, and I'm like, damn, like that fucking health insurance just came out today at 7 p.m. What the fuck is y'all doing? I just checked this shit before we pulled up.
I swear.
I got $15 left. I'm fucked up.
He had Ruth Chris.
Call this nigga TJ, man. Shout out to my nigga TJ. He had it every time. Too.
Oh, man.
He had it every time. For sure.
Hey, KT, shout out to you. My dog. I can call that, man. Yeah. Shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the village.
Shout out to the guys. It takes a village to raise a broke nigga.
Hey,
sure.
That's when them broke niggas start blaming shit on you. Like, nigga, you the reason I'm out here. What? No, wait. Like, nah, nigga.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
All right. Tell us about a time your wife puts a mirror to your face and how you responded to it, how you felt.
You know what? I think I'll circle back to that question you had asked me. 23. You know, I didn't like myself when I was that young, bro. Because I was still trying to be somebody I wasn't. Didn't accept, and then didn't even accept who I was. I can name a few times, bro. My wife told me about myself so many times, bro. One thing she did hold up a mirror to me about was she's like, your mama used to always joke, talking about something. She grew up with her kids. I grew up with my kids. And I was like, what's wrong with that? She said, that's why you talk to her the way that you do. I was like, what do you mean how I talk to my mother? She's like, you talk to your daddy like that too. And I found out because I did it because I saw my brother, my older brother, and we actually talked to our parents like they were our siblings. And I was like, and that right there actually was a subject in therapy where it's like, that's how I started to talk to my wife. So when you like, that's how you talk to your mama, that's how you talk to your daddy. You ain't finna talk to me like that. All right. How do I talk to my daddy? Then I found out how to talk to my daddy. I literally looked at my brother through I was like, damn. I said, damn, that's sweet. You know what I mean? So it was one of the moments, man, where that's a moment where I knew I had to shift how I communicated with my wife. And that was, like I said, grew up with my parents. So it was like, that was something, a habit that was embedded in me. It's like, this is how I talk. Not to me.
Yeah, not to me.
Not to me. You know what I mean? And even I had to, my relationship with my pops had got better because I had to start I need to I guess, respect. But then that even got weird because I was like, look, man, look, you know. So
after so long, you know.
Right, after so long, you know. But yeah,
you could choose to move with your wife differently, though.
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely, bro.
For sure.
Absolutely. You got AMP? Nigga, what the fuck?
Fuck that week, man. My head was gone.
This nigga just did a hand rub. Talking about some. This nigga talking about some.
Look, I'm gonna cook something up. I got nothing.
It's crazy.
All right. What we got? So I got something for the
single moms.
For the boy moms.
Boy moms. We get
moms.
Specifically.
Boy moms for sure.
Danielle, listen up.
for the boy moms, this is what I got for y'all, man. Catch them doing good. Catch them doing good.
I like that.
All kids want attention. They crave attention. That's why they say, "Hey, mom, look at me," and they jump 3 inches off the ground like they just did some Olympic shit. You know what I'm saying? They all crave attention, but a lot of times as parents, we only give them attention when they do something wrong. A lot of times we give them an iPad, or we let them play the game, or we get them busy doing something, and they don't hear from us again until we hear something break, or we hear a loud bang, or this or that. So when they doing something wrong is when we say, we come talk to them, and we pay them some attention. Or when it's time for them to do something, it's bath time, or it's this or that. You know, so a lot of that bad behavior could be learned behavior that he learned from you.
Oop.
He learned that if I want some attention, I got to do something wrong. And that could be why he acting up in school, and that could be why he acting up at home, and that could lead to him acting up in the streets as he get older. So catch him doing good and praise him for it. Don't just redirect him when you catch him doing wrong. But if you catch him doing something that he's supposed to be doing, make sure you give him a lot of credit and pay a lot of attention to that as well, to make sure it's balanced out. And let's try a lot more positive feedback as well. You know, the negative feedback is when you catch him doing something and you got to redirect him, you discipline him, or you curse him out, or whatever you do, you yell at him. But the positive feedback is letting them know, like, hey, I really like when you do that the right way. I really like how you separated your drawers from your jogging pants today. Like, that was on point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe they'll make them want to do it again.
Even in Patreon, when I posted the screenshot of me and Trey text messages, like, cause my son, he was messing up, not making his bed or whatever. And I got on him about that, redirected him. And I saw that he did it. I shot him a text in the morning. Yo, good job making the bed today. Give him that positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying? Not just that balance. What's bro name? Calvin Johnson, I want to say. No, Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant has a clip. It was like a little poem that he read that helped his relationship with his kids. Y'all should just go look it up. I'm not going to say the whole fucking thing. But y'all should go look it up. But a part of it in there was about him, like, not yelling at his kids in the morning and expecting them to have a good day. So you can kind of tell the type of speech it was. But just look up Dez Bryant speech or something. Not speech, but y'all know how to find shit.
Poem. Yeah. For sure, man. So that's all we got for the day. You want to leave with anything? TikTok, IG handles, all of that?
Y'all, 7 a.m. The Poet on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
For sure. What do I got for y'all? We got the Village coming up again. We posted some of the clips of the Village on TikTok, some of the clips on the Village on Instagram. There's some people out there like, we need this in our city, we need this in this city and that city. Hopefully by next year, maybe we can bring the Village to some other cities. We want to master it and make sure it's overly effective in our city. And if it could work in Chicago,
we going to Philly next.
Nigga, we could go to motherfucking Venezuela with this shit. El Salvador, nigga. With a translator, like, look, nigga, build your confidence up. Look, SA.
Nah, we not going to Mexico. They just beheaded their mayor.
Yeah, I'm straight.
No.
But we got another Village coming up.
November
2nd. If you in Chicago, bring your kids through. Your boys.
12 to 19.
12 to 19-year-olds. Click the link in the bio if you watching this on YouTube or wherever you watching this at. Go to at Terry Roseland on TikTok. Go to at Roses Are Dead or my page, Terry Roseland, or even the Man's Perspective page. Hit the link in the bio. All the links for the Patreon. all the links for the Village is there. You can share it. If you know somebody who needs it, you can donate. You can RSVP for your own kid. And yeah, man, you can help, bring something to life and be a part of something that's great and that's really helping our community, man. Outside of that, we got some merch dropping school. Shout out to Real. We got some Scullies that's gonna be coming soon. And that's about it, man. If you in Philly listening to this, make sure you get your tickets to the Hard and Soft tour that's gonna be on November 21st. It's a lot of fucking dates.
Yeah.
November is jam packed. Got anything?
Nope.
All right, as we always say, man, if you're chasing anything in life, make sure you're going full speed after it. Never take no for an answer. And the more doors that close, the more narrow the path, the more straight the path, and the more focused and locked in you can be, man. So as we always say,
Shoot.
We out.
It's all God in the cake.